And welcome back to Tim's Trains. Good morning. As you can see, we haven't made a great deal of visible progress here. Previous video I did have some engines running, but you can see I've pulled the track up again. Now I don't have a track planning program, I don't want one. It's not for me. What I want to do is see how it looks, see what it does, pull it up, put it down, look at it. I have decided that we're running a river through the middle of here. And I bought some little bits of river wall, corrugated river wall pilings to build that. It'll be an industrial river, it'll be walled in. But where do the bridges go? I've not decided. How much bridges? I haven't decided. I'm buying bridges off eBay. There's a nice one, nice little bridges like that. And then there's another nice curved one there. They're all on eBay, people printing these off. This is going to be a road bridge. It is actually a railway track bed, but who cares? The railways build the bridges over the railways, so it will be a railway bridge. So this will carry a roadway from the end scene over the track. Just lucky for me that the bridge is the length with the piers that fits over the track I've got. And then I'm awaiting a second piece of bridge which goes in there, and that will carry a roadway. And the road will go across the board and exit on the far side. And that's to give some access to a little bit of land in the middle. Shout out yet again to TimsTrains. He's quite right. It has to look like it works to some degree. We know it's a model. It has to work. So somewhere in the middle of here where all this track is lying around at the moment, this is all the track waiting to be used and spare track and what have you. I don't buy it to order. I buy it and I try it. And if I don't like it, it goes back in the middle. But there'll be a hill in here in this middle. And this big double track running at its maximum radius, the 414-381 Kato twin track, but then coming over here and going underneath to make it fit using ordinary track, I had to bring it in by one radius, and I'm not totally happy with that. So I've ordered some more of the concrete twin track from TimsTrains UK. Have a look at their website if you want Kato stuff. They are cheaper than eBay. They are on eBay, but the stuff is cheaper if you order it direct from TimsTrains. And I've ordered some more concrete twin track, and I'm going to try and complete my big loop using twin track so that I have the widest curbs possible. So that I can run those big engines. They obviously like wider curbs, so that's what I'm going to try and achieve. In the meantime, I'm fiddling about with bridges, trying to see what fits, and pulling sidings up and putting them down again. And as many people say, you know, make it look a little bit more realistic. Too much track can be a problem, and that's my worry over here. There's too much track. But it's a work in progress. And I am keen on keeping my little sawmill in the middle. They'll have the siding, and there'll be a siding to feed the riverbank. So that's where I'm at with that one. Another little thing I've got going, I realised I've seen what they call the intermodal yards, where they basically bring containers. And I was looking at the twin track. This is the concrete slab twin track. I'm thinking, that looks very much like a concrete yard. So I've removed it from down here. You can see the contrast between the two. This is the curved twin track and the concrete twin track with sleepers, which looks far better. So I've pulled up the slab flat track and removed it up here where it's going to form my container yard. Now I've looked at how much track I can fit in and how many sets of points. I'm waiting for a double track points thing, one of these set up left right fixed crossovers, and that's going to go in here where it will be the swap over into the container yard, and it's just going to be two tracks. I've watched TimsTrains, hi to DJ if he ever sees this, TimsTrains engineer in America, and puts on some very good videos because he does the job for real. And he shows us the industries and how they're laid out. And somewhere amongst that, I spotted a two-track intermodal yard, which is all I can fit. And that will give me the scenery gap down the side for a mobile crane and some lorries and some containers. So I decided that's enough track. I'll put a little bit of scenery to it. I'm not doing scenery on this bottom, but I might try and do a bit on the top. As you can see, I've got a few buildings standing around. I haven't finalised any of that. That's just buildings and trucks standing around for measurement purposes. So that's where we're at so far. So I'm waiting for some track to finalise the big base track. If I can't, it will have to go with what's there, which runs. We have had it running. And it's just step by step. So that's where we're at. Just a bit of an update for you. Got the shelf in place. The Kato sound box, this is a wonderful piece of kit. I have mentioned it previously, but it allows you to plug it into your transformers and have some choo-choo noises when you don't have DCC trains. I'm not doing DCC trains. Mine will be all DC, just analog, and it just allows it to make some noise, and I'll have to find a place to put it, and it just gives a little bit of atmosphere to the layout. So that's my intention with that. I've moved on a little bit with this up here, and I just put some buildings along the side, the low relief buildings, just to, start padding it out for thoughts. That's going to be an oil depot down there in that corner. That's an old model I picked up. You can pick them up for cheap. And that'll just create a siding with a purpose, an industry as they call it. It'll be an oil depot, and it's a long enough siding to have a string of oil tankers, and long enough along here to work as a head shunt on the pretend through goods line. That will create the head shunt to bring the tankers in and out. Yeah, so there we go, YouTube. We're moving on a little bit slowly. Sometimes you make big progress, sometimes it's small, but got to think your way through it. That's how I do it. I haven't got a computer plan, so I'm just piddling about, seeing what fits. Okay, folks, see you next time.